Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my third video on YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about Spooked Beans. This is another fork from Baked Beans. Before we jump into the analysis of it, the reason I wanted to talk about the reason I'm doing this. Basically, I started watching a lot of these videos on baked beans forks, and the vast majority of the videos out there are actually just promoting the project and by the influencers, the YouTubers that are after the referral bonus, basically, and they're paid to do so, and not many actual analysis of the contract, and so that's why I started making these videos. Anyway, so let's take a look at the contract balance first. As you can see, there's practically no deposit whatsoever. This project was launched 15 days ago. Um, Pretty much it's the same code as baked beans, low debt fee, the same referral bonus percentage, 12% in deposits and compounds. So this is a typical pump and dump situation we are seeing here. Around the third day already, you see more withdrawals than the deposits, right? So it's not like they were going hard on marketing. Probably prior to the launch, they spent a lot on marketing, but not after that. It is very clear. And also, another reason for this is that all these degen investors already know they need to get in early to get a quick ROI. So, since the nature of the project, you invest, but you kind of sacrifice that amount of money you put in because you can't withdraw that money back, right? So you just basically have to get the earnings, and what most of the degen investors are after is to get the investment back as quickly as possible. In order to do so, you need to be as early as possible into the project. So getting early means pretty much everything in this kind of platform. That's why we see all these situations where you see the huge amount of deposits on the first day, and already on the second day, third day, you start to see the withdrawal amount exceeding the deposit amount, which is normal unless you actually put some limits on the amount of withdrawal or the frequency of the withdrawal. So this is exactly the same code as baked beans. It's up to everyone to decide to compound or decide to make withdrawals. Anyway, probably this will go on for a little while, but it's a huge decrease in daily rewards. So I do understand why investors want to make multiple withdrawals a week as opposed to six compounds and make one withdrawal, because of this fear, right? The funds are getting drained, and you want to get back your investment as soon as possible. All right, so pretty much like baked beans analysis, I use the API of Phantom Scan to download all the transaction data and compiled all that data into a list. And this is sorted by the withdrawal amount descendantly. So anyway, it's the same story as baked beans. You get lots of these guys making a lot of withdrawals, taking away little funds out of the contract. So if download all the transactions and make a list, you start to see that this didn't happen in baked beans, but this is sorted by the withdrawal amount, and I kind of did the cumulative withdrawal amount and the percentage next to it, as you can see here. So top around 35 wallets actually account for 50% of the total amount of withdrawals. So that's insane. So all these like 35, 36 wallets are responsible for 50% of withdrawal amount. So if these guys start to withdraw a lot, and like the rest of the stake is doomed, they'll be they in trouble basically. Um, so that's one point kind of unique to Spooked Beans. And nothing like that was seen in baked beans. So this is, and the main reason as to why this happened is to, basically they got in very early. And if we sort the deposit day ascendantly, is something funny you can find here is that the launch time was around here, the 12th of April at 9 p.m. I don't know if it's a UTC or my time. Anyway, so as you can see, the very first deposits made into the contract was actually, more than an hour ago, before the launch time, right? And this is made, one phantom deposit, another one 4,000, which is quite amount, and followed by 14 phantom 30, 32, 63, 100, and so on. And all these made tons of withdrawals already. And bear in mind that some of these wallets are actually from the dead teams and to create funds to do further marketing. So by investing one phantom, this wallet got out close to 10,000 phantoms. So this is a crazy amount, and this tells you how important it is to be in the project early, right? So that's why this, pump and dump happens, because this big advantage to, for being very early into the project. That being said, half these wallets actually are declared to be the wallets to be used for marketing. Because the drainage that we are seeing in the funds, the team said that these wallets will be used to invest into other projects, right? Which is like a patch. It sounds like a patch to me. Okay, you're suffering from the, draining in the funds, and then what you want to do is to invest into other projects and get some benefits and feed the earnings back into the contract, right? So why don't we come up with the ways to make it sustainable to start with? yeah, that is my take. Anyway, but there are some other wallets that deposited phantoms prior to the launch time that are not really tied to these marketing purposes. So they are friends or the dev's personal wallets. I don't know, but by having these wallets withdrawing a huge amount of money, then investors might see that actually in the contract balance, and they start to fear, hey, I have to withdraw too instead of doing 6-1 six compounds and make a withdrawal on the seventh day. Instead of doing that, just I might as well myself too make withdrawals, as many withdrawals as possible. So they might go into this fear if you create these wallets prior to the launch time and deposit whatever amount, and and making huge amount of earnings, regardless of the purpose. Whether that being the marketing wallets, or whether that they are just dev teams, friends, or the teams themselves. This is not like, it wouldn't give me a good impression actually. Then I would put a higher dev fee instead of like being 2% or 3%, then just make it higher. So you wouldn't have a sudden drainage in the funds by these withdrawals. But you would see for every deposit, for every withdrawal, 3% or 2% is going into the wallet. That sounds like, to me, a better idea than having these wallets prior to the launch. Anyway, and we also, let me go back to sort by the withdrawal amount. We also see some crazy referral bonus without any deposit made at all. 12 more than 12,000 phantoms, but deposit amount zero. Things like that you can see. But this is the same story as other forks out there. So I'm not going into the details. But what's in a nutshell, what was bugging me was these, wallets that actually deposited the money, before the launch time, and I don't think that gives a good impression. Like I said, would have been better to just set a higher the fee, and then investing into other projects to get earnings to feed back into the contract. That's kind of like defeats the purpose. Why don't you just make the project more sustainable? Setting a limit on the number of withdrawals per week, or like you start to see such projects right now, and I do see that they are a lot more sustainable than a normal exact code, like straight forks out of big baked beans. So that's kind of my review on the balance and all this analysis. Yeah, so I hope. I mean, it is normal to try to get in as early as possible and try to withdraw as much as possible before the funds get drained out. I do understand the feeling, because if everyone's doing that, then you might as well do that, right? Because it's your money. So I think to some extent you have to force, you know, this habit of like six compounds and one withdrawal, so some way. So that's pretty much it for today, and I will leave the link to the this Google Doc below in the description. Feel free to take a look. And if you guys want me to do analysis on other projects, then just feel free to leave a comment below the video. Thank you very much.